Hey guys, welcome back. Now, this is a different setup I've tried to do. I was trying to figure out a way how to describe it, but basically, what is considered Marvel notes, which means it's the notes of the so called Easter eggs that we've seen in the past Marvel movies, and what is to be decided of what's going to happen between them and potential spin offs and sequels. So, to start this off, I'm going to start with the Deadpool film, which we know is played by Ryan Reynolds. Now, the Deadpool film it's actually been in works for quite some time now. It was actually scheduled to be released before the X-Men Origins movie, but was later pushed back to after because they wanted to get the full extent of the characters and the full extent of his characteristics, abilities, and who the character itself excuse me, depicts depends on. So Ryan Reynolds, who played the Deadpool of X-Men Origins, played a different Deadpool, but was actually a combination of multiple mutants that were experimented on, and then their abilities fused into one body. Of who Wade Wilson in this incarnation is the son of William Stryker, the commander in chief of Wolverine during his time with the Weapon X program. Now, in film wise, the only information that we've had of the Deadpool movie is the teaser CGI that we got back in 2012, and the teaser images that Ryan Reynolds had put out through his Twitter account, which was complete a complete face feature of Deadpool, which was completely made out of recreational bullets. He later on, this past week, has put a picture on his Twitter account, which is the early development mask of Deadpool himself. Now, the film itself is scheduled for 2016 and is set to be the starting point for the spin-off of the X-Men features, the X-Force. Now, the reason I wanted to discuss this is because I felt like the whole concept of Deadpool is that the character is one of the first Marvel heroes to actually make a dent in the fourth wall and break it down. And I know some of you don't know what the fourth wall is. I mean, the fourth wall, in my opinion, is a general speaking of where a character acknowledges their potential and acknowledges who they are. For example, for some of you who haven't read, there are some comic books in Deadpool that he admits to knowing that he is a comic book character, and does, say a lot of things out the top of his head, and really what just comes out of his mouth is complete nonsense, which happens to be one of his abilities. Now, the Deadpool movie, although I'm not really sure who is set to appear in the film besides Deadpool, but Cable, who is also a X-Force member and is the son of Scott Summers, aka Cyclops, and Jean Grey. Now, the reason Cable and Deadpool know each other is through this incarnation. Cable is actually a individual who was sent to the future via whatever his abilities back then were able to time travel through his telepathic abilities, which he inherited from his mother. Now, Cable met Deadpool through this time period because we all know Deadpool's most unknown ability is his immortality, to the point of where he was cursed by Thanos himself to never die and be able to ever, in this case, I guess Thanos wanted him to suffer. But I mean, look at it like this: Deadpool really doesn't care if he dies or not, because he suffered. He's got his head cut off. He's got his legs cut off. There's a lot of things Deadpool's done, and there's really nothing he cares about much anymore. Now, the reason that Deadpool and Cable know each other is through Deadpool's ability of immortality, because in the comic books there is an incarnation of Deadpool that is 800 years into the future. So that Deadpool is the same Deadpool that we know now, which is affiliated with the X-Men in Cable's time period. Now, a little after the characters was announced, it was announced that the lesser properties of Marvel, such as Black Panther, Iron Fist, Nighthawk, and Cable, were all properties to be considered for development of a solo film. Now, although the potential of a spin-off for Cable is kind of low at this point, because we don't know what the Deadpool movie could entail, whether they're going to keep the movie rated PG-13 or they're going to make the movie the first R-rated Marvel movie in cinematic history. Now, the reason I say the movie should be R-rated is due to the fact that if they want to further expand the whole concept of Deadpool's abilities, they need to be able to let Ryan Reynolds speak his mind. Let Ryan Reynolds do the acting, not just, give him a script and let him do certain things. We've seen Deadpool speak his mind in various TV shows, various movies. Pretty much every concept of Deadpool is wrapped around his smart mouth. He doesn't get the Merc with a Mouth nickname for no valid reason. But now that the Cable spinoff has been announced, it's not announced for development, it's not announced for an actor, nothing has been announced about the Cable film other than the fact that it's being considered. The creator and writer of Deadpool, Robert Liefeld, announced in 2013 that the X-Force film is scheduled to be in development and is also to feature both Deadpool and Cable in the team. Now, I want to say this. We all know that Deadpool has had incarnations various to who he is and to his mental ability. To the best of his ability, we know that Deadpool does not know who he is through his healing factor and his cancer, which has affected a very large amount of his brain cells to the point of where he does not remember who he is to a certain degree. Well, except for the fact he knows his name. That part he knows, but still. Now, since Cable and Deadpool are also announced for the film, the crucial concept of it all is Deadpool is the root of these characters right about now. So let's say the Deadpool movie starring Ryan Reynolds does above well and sells more than, let's say more than 25 million, half a billion dollars. Okay, so that's what the equivalent is. We want the Deadpool movie to sell more than 250 million. So looking at it like that, that's enough funding for them to do the Cable spinoff and then do the X-Force spinoff, depending on how they want to do it. Whether they want to do another incarnation of Deadpool in the X-Force film, or just have Cable do an appearance in the Deadpool film, then do the Cable film, then do the X-Force film with Deadpool and Cable and whoever other characters they're going to announce. Me personally, I want to see Hugh Jackman do another Wolverine before he gets tired of doing it, which I'm pretty sure he will be, because he's been in every X-Men movie besides First Class, I believe. Yeah, Hugh Jackman has played Wolverine in every X-Men movie besides the First Class movie. And basically what I'm trying to say is that the characters that we know, even the lesser characters, always have a crucial part with the bigger characters, which is why they want to adjust to the bigger series of it all. So when I talk about whether or not Deadpool, Cable, and the X-Force team are possibilities, it's really just because of the fact that they want to give one of the characters who is well known through the comic series, and they want to set up the whole series with a set of revenue rather. So if I had to guess, the Cable X-Force film is all dependent on whether or not Deadpool's movie is a complete success. Success. I'm sorry. So if I had to guess that the team for X-Force would be, of course, it would include. If I would think, what I want to see is, I know it includes Deadpool and Cable, so add those two. I want to have a team of 5 people. Yeah, so 5 people in general, and have maybe X-23. We know X-23 is Wolverine's daughter and also a member of the X-Force for a certain time. And I think Warpath, who we saw in Days of Future Past, was greatly received for the debut of the character. So whether they add Wolverine in it or not, I think the acceptance of whether or not the character is going to be the root of this one little cinematic X-Men spin-off series is really dependent on Marvel and Kevin Feige. So with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you guys feel free to subscribe and comment at any time, just in case you want to give me any ideas that you want me to expand.